Well, all right, here it is again. 7 on a Sunday. It's my vlog, right? This is where I talk about the world I created. Then I release a song based on the perspective of a character and all this stuff. And man, I'm back. Even though I was sick, I was freaking sick this week, man. And it kicked my ass. But I'm still not 100%, but I had a lot of this done already. And so I decided to just tighten it up and fix it up and do it, even though I was sick. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is about the Guardian, who is, relatively speaking, a new transcendent being, right? So he used to be he, and he starts off as a mortal, and he goes through a secret school type of thing, right? And of course, they learn all kinds of sciences of the mind and what we would call psychic phenomenon. But and they have astral projections and stuff like that, and it's not as easy as you think, you know. But eventually, due to years of this school, um, once in a while they do produce a transcendent being, and this is the latest one called the Guardian. And what a transcendent being is, not only can you do out of body experiences, send your spirit out into the ether and to different times and spaces and come back, bring the spirit back to the body, and have a memory of what happens, you know, because that's another thing too, is you know, coming back to the slower realm and the slower chemistry and stuff. Beings don't always remember what they experienced when they had out of body experiences. So anyway, the Guardian did pass the final test, in which he brought the spirit back to the body and raised the vibratory rate of the body, and the body was able to take off into wherever it wanted to go in absolute freedom. So yeah, that's the Guardian. Now the Guardian, you know, a lot of these masters, they just leave and they don't come back, you know, because the travails of this world are just too great for them, you know. And but this one wants to help, and so he had a conversation with an ancient one about a group of beings on Earth that he's going to teach to help, because the world's in trouble and the darkness is all encompassing, and terrible things are happening. I mean, stuff you never even want to think about is happening in this story of mine, you know. And humanity's in trouble as far as being able to even evolve. They're like stuck. And so the Guardian decides to, if he could at least teach even just a handful of people who are receptive, they can become lights to the world, even if they can't go to places where he can go currently, you know. So this is like the third song of the Guardian. And the first two songs were, you know, the first one introduces him and has the conversation in holographic form with the ancient one. It also brings up a character who's going to help. The second song brought up more characters. So in these other songs, you have Isabella, for instance, the cloud pusher, right? And she was, you know, just laying on a hill, and one day decided to move clouds with her mind. And then she starts getting in trouble for that, you know. And then you have Dr. Clarissa Cates, who had a childhood friend, you know, that they were both very precocious, but this child friend of hers went crazy, and they had a fight before that too. And so she's committed to beyond committed. She's obsessed with finding a cure to mental illness, even into her adult years as a practitioner of psychiatry, right? And then now in this song, the Guardian is observing Daisy, who's that martial artist, that badass, you know, and so who, you know, had to overcome her own travails in a poverty-stricken neighborhood that she grew up in, and yet she managed to thrive against great odds, right? So I'm going to read the lyrics to "Wind Over Water," and this is how it goes. He opens another viewing portal and sees Daisy in all her martial arts glory. He knows how he'll instruct them. A stern focus on the dual nature of quantum physics, right? So he identified a way in order to strip a lot of the superstition and the mysticism and all the weird stuff that you need, that one assumes you have to go through in order to, you know, become like a powerful psychic, you know, through school or something. All the no religious dogma or anything. He's going to use one of the tools he's going to use is quantum physics in teaching that, and also how the spirit is lord over energy fields, right? So he's reluctant to even use the word spirit because, you know, the spirit within, or the, you know, Holy Spirit or something like that, because he knows that the words have been so maligned in the past. You know, these words have been so maligned in the past that most people are just too jaded to hear these words like God, you know. And he knows he knows that although there's so many religious people out there who are good people and good-minded people and want to help others, they start using words like God and stuff like that, and instantly people turn off because they don't want to be used. They don't want to be tricked, you know. They don't want to get involved, you know. And so, but he decides to use that word spirit anyway because it has a vibratory rate to it. Like everyone within them has their own spirit, you know. And this spirit within is lord over energy fields around them. So that, which explains the observer effect in this fictitious or fictional world I'm creating, right? Okay, so in that they can utilize their spirit with techniques that have been developed by the Great One. So there was the very first transcendent being that laid down disciplines and how to go where this being went. And that's what the Guardian has done, you know. And then, you know, he's contemplating, there's a deep truth about wind over water and how that visual represents, in what that visual represents, illustrating how energy coagulates into mass, you know. So something about the breath or the wind over water, the water rippling, and that's like energy, you know. So he's going to use these analogies, and he's going to try to get through to some people. Each future student has a very important characteristic, and that is will, you know. And no one displays this greater than Daisy. She is truly hardened like a gem, right? Yet exhibits the open-mindedness and humility needed. So yeah, that's that, you guys. That's part 3 of The Guardian. And like I always say, please check out the description in here for more information on these characters or this song. And thanks for watching my vlog. I appreciate it, man. I was really sick this week, but I did it. Freaking did this anyway, and yeah. Anyway, deuces. See you on the next one.